Hello everyone. Thank you for joining our Chan class for Asia timeline. All right. It's nice to cultivate together because it's a chance for me to learn from you through you asking me questions. So feel free to ask questions, okay? Part of the Chan practice is to help you understand more on your obstructions and how to resolve your obstructions. That's what we hope to be able to do. Okay, JC questions.
안녕하십니까. 저는 아침 웨이브를 집에서 줌으로 꾸준히 2년 남짓 해오고 있습니다. 만트라와 독경을 따라하면서도 때때로 딴 생각을 하면서 습관적으로 하기도 하고 또 소리를 내지 않고, 왜냐하면 새벽 시간이라 식구들 잠 깨울까 봐서요. 소리를 내지 않고 입술로 속삭이듯이 따라하거나 혹은 아예 입을 꾹 닫고 소리 없이 따라하기도 합니다. 어떻게 하는 게 좋을지 잘 모르겠어요. 아침 예불을 어떤 마음으로 또 어떻게 하는 게 좋을지 조언 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.
Hello, Master. I've been following our morning ceremony from my house by Zoom for over 1 year for now.
Sorry, I can hear the first two phrases. She's been following what?
Morning ceremony.
Okay.
I've been following morning ceremony from my house every day by Zoom for over 1 year. And I've been reciting mantras, and I've been following the sutra recitation together. But when I recite, I often have many false thoughts, and I just do it habitually. And also, this is in very early morning, so I worry that my family would wake up. So I try to be very quiet, almost have no sound, and I recite together, and sometimes even I close my mouth and I don't make any sounds. So I don't know what to do. What is the best way for me to practice morning ceremony? What mindset should I have, and how should I do?
Okay, good thing that it's very commendable that you get up that early in the morning, because our morning ceremonies start at 4 a.m. So you need to get up even earlier to prepare and join the ceremony. That's very commendable. Your concern seems to be that the noise you'll be making. Okay. The morning ceremony is meant for you to recite aloud. So you want to somehow find a place where you can recite so that you can hear your recitation. Okay? It's not that as effective if you were to recite the morning ceremony silently. You can, but it's not as effective. And let me remind you, morning ceremony means that preferably you stand up, you don't sit down. Okay, you stand up and you follow what is done at the temple. So you do exactly the same thing remotely. Okay, meaning you chant aloud, you bow, you circumambulate like everyone, and so forth. Okay. And so that's a process. You should try to do that. Find a place to do that without causing commotions in your family. even need be, you can even lock yourself in the closet and recite. Okay, you really are into it. As far as reciting the mantras and so forth, you can recite silently. Actually, as you recite these mantras, for example, the 4 2 hands and eyes mantras, it's you can recite it in silence. You don't need to recite aloud. When you are with the assembly, it's preferable you recite aloud with everyone else, okay? Because it helps. It's a mutual aid when you are with an assembly physically in person, and you want to make the sound. That's your contribution. Okay, when you join the assembly in person, it's best to do what everyone else is doing. That's the Dharma behind the Great Assembly. You join the assembly and you do exactly the same. Okay, so if people, if the Wayno recite aloud, you're supposed to recite aloud as well. Okay, and so, but the mantras, you can have the option of reciting silently. Okay, that should still be pretty effective as well. Okay, did I answer her questions? Okay, very good. Anyone else? Okay. These are very turbulent times. As I was meditating, excuse me, it dawned on me, and I could be wrong. Recently, I've been pretty wrong. But I feel that over here, things are changing drastically, and I expect that to really unfold more and more. We're talking about tariffs that affects everyone right now, okay? Their tariffs are beginning with our neighbors, Mexico and Canada, okay? Tariffs, they're very cautious right now, imposing only 10% tariffs, but I think that eventually it will increase. Okay, so the times will be tougher and tougher because maybe it's time here, because the Americans, we are in the poorhouse, we can no longer afford, they're not willing to say it, but we can no longer afford to continue the status quo. We're borrowing too much and we're spending too much. And so it will be a lot of suffering and a lot of turmoil in everywhere. Okay, people getting laid off, not only here in the U.S., the government, but also private companies are starting to lay off. Okay, and therefore, these are the times very tough for everyone. Okay, but also time for you to rise to the occasion. Okay, in America, there's a saying, when it's tough, the tough gets going. So how this is to us is cultivation as well. We cultivate. You come to the temple, you join, we get together to learn how to cultivate. Okay, to develop the skills. And then you get away, go back to your places. Then you learn to apply to those skills to your daily life. So the cultivation is actually twofold. Number one is you develop skills when you're here at our temple, because we help you, and we hope we try to help you overcome your obstructions, okay? Because the nature of obstruction is that you cannot see. If you were able to see, the obstructions would be a lot easier for you to overcome them. But you don't know, you don't realize the nature of obstructions, okay? And even if you realize, that's why in Buddhism, when you become enlightened, you open the four wisdoms, one of which is the great perfect mirror wisdom, which is like a mirror. It reflects everything accurately. Okay? You become a mirror, the great perfect mirror. And when people come near you, those who are unfortunate enough to get in front of you, you will be able to send back a very accurate reflection for them. And that's why it's called perfect mirror wisdom, unaltered, undeformed. So what you see, the reflection you see from the mirror, okay, is your true self. And that's why we cultivators hope to open our wisdom so that we can help the people around us by helping them see, letting them see themselves. Because they can't. Without a mirror, they cannot see it. So the function of a teacher, a good no advisor, whether it's a monk or nun, whether it's a lay person, okay, is to reflect, to give them feedback themselves, help them help people see better, see themselves better. Any questions about that? Because we can't. Just even ourselves. We cannot see, we cannot see ourselves until we get in front of a mirror and look at the mirror image. Same thing. In cultivation, a good no advisor is supposed to help you send back your reflection, the reflection of who you are. All right? That's the first step. And that requires wisdom. Collective wisdom is so impressive. No answers? What was my question again, Apple? I was so shocked. It's so overwhelmed with the response I get from all of you. What was my question again? 6.
Thank you, Master. So I remember your question is if you are a good knowing advisor, he's not the enlightenment. When you in front of him, in front of them, what you will get back from them. So I get.
What is the image he's sending back to you?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Oh, that's very good. You were listening. I'm so pleased.
Yeah. Can I try to answer?
Yeah, answer.
Yeah, you will get the images, their afflictions.
Image of their affliction. Whose affliction?
The good knowing advisor's afflictions.
The good knowing advisor's affliction says, I don't like you. Okay, you didn't take a shower today. Okay, anyone else? What kind of image, what kind of reflection would you get from a mirror, from a good known advisor who's not a perfect mirror? A distorted image. Yes? Wait, did I speak too soon? Did anyone want to tell me it's a distorted image? If it's, yes, DDT. Guess what? Distorted image.
와서 죄송한데 좀 타이밍이 안 맞는 것 같은데 일단 제가 이해한 마스터의 질문은 저는 제가 2주 전에 로얄티에 대한 마스터께 질문을 드렸고 그 대답을 들으면서 마스터께서 저를 항상 좀 찌질하다고 하셨는데 제가 너무 찌질하고 보잘것없는 사람이다라는 그런 제 자신을 돌아보게 되었고요. 일단 첫 번째. 네.
Master, this might be a wrong timing, but the question I understand is that I asked you a question 2 weeks ago about the loyalty, and Master told me I'm a very petty person. And because
what
of
person?
that, petty.
Petty. Did I say that?
야, 그런 말 했다고?
I can't believe I said that. Okay.
So I looked back to my petty self.
And so the image of a petty person?
그러니까 네 맞습니다. 그러니까 마스터께서 제가 사실 저 찌질하다고 하셨을 때 제가 인정하기 싫었는데 마스터께서 저의 찌질한 면, 되게 구질구질한 면을 제가 마스터의 거울을 통해서 제가 돌아볼 수 있었고 그게 지금 마스터께서 저희에게 던지신 질문에 대한 대답인 것 같고요. 네.
Yes, I didn't want to admit it because that I'm a mean and petty person, but because of a master's mirror, I could look back to myself.
Is there a point here?
요점은 이제 마스터라는 거울을 통해서 제가 찌질한 사람이라는 것에 대해서 제가 인식할 수 있었다는 것과 로얄티에 대한 질문이 지금 타이밍이 안 맞다면 잠시 뒤에 다시 하겠습니다.
My point is that thanks to your mirror, I could recognize that I was a petty person.
You
And
were a petty
I-
person. You no longer are petty. Very good. I'm very pleased. Where were we again?
Master, I also want to ask about the loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
만약에 지금 이 타이밍이 적당하지 않는다면 다시 잠시 뒤에 하겠습니다. 네.
If this is not a right timing, I will do it later.
Oh, you can ask. I can answer later if I remember.
제가 이제 그때 로얄티에 대해서 추가 질문이 있었는데 저를 기다리는 사람이 있었기 때문에 제가 추가 질문을 드릴 수 없었다는 점에 대해서 먼저 양해를 드리고 싶고, 네.
Back then, I had a question about the loyalty, but someone was waiting, so I couldn't ask you back then.
Mm-hmm.
그러니까 제가 이익에 따라 움직이는 찌질한 사람이다라는 거에 대해서 첫 번째 제 로얄티의 리밋에 대해서는 제가 정말 인정을 하고 부끄럽게 생각을 하고요. 마스터 말씀대로. 네.
So yes, I am a petty person who's driven by the profit. So that's the first limitation of mine about the loyalty. I admit it.
근데 이제 제가 두 번째 드리고 싶은 그 로얄티의 제 두 번째 리밋은 제가 항상 한계를 설정해 놓고 무슨 일이든지 시작을 한다. 근데 이제 그거는 사실은 저의 아버지의 특히 저의 아버지의 가정교육과 관계가 있거든요. 예를 들면 저는 포기라는 거를 가정교육을 통해서 배운 적이 없고 단어로만 배웠기 때문에 제가 항상 어디까지 해야 되겠다. 그리고 그 목표를 설정해야지만 그 목표 때까지 제가 노력을 할 수 있고 그 목표를 노력을 했기 때문에 그 결과를 받아들일 수 있는 거였거든요. 네.
My second limit is that I always set a limit to everything and then start the work. This comes from my father's education. I never learned giving up from him. I only learned the word giving up, but I never learned how to give up. So I always set up my goals, and then I would aim for the goals and attain it. And if the result wasn't good, then I could accept it.
그러니까 이제 마스터의 답변해 주시는 것에 대해서 제가 어떠한 심리적인 인상을 받았냐면 계속 노력한다, 계속 헌신한다, 이제 이렇게 하는 것까지 인정이 되지만 그 리밋이 스스로에게 설정되어 있지 않으면 상대방에게 보상 심리를 바랄 수가 있고요. 네.
So the impression I got from Master's answer was that you have to keep trying and keep devoting. But if I feel like if there's no limit set to the standard, then if there's no limit, then you might want the reward from it.
그리고 이제 가장 제가 힘든 부분은 그러면 도대체 어떻게 죽을 때까지 계속 죽도록 노력을 해야 되는 건가? 도대체 언제까지 해야 되는지 좀 심리적인 압박감이 들어서 이 두 번째 마스터의 답변에 대해서 제가 좀 소화를 하고 싶어서 질문을 드리게 됐어요. 이상입니다.
The most hardest thing for me is that so you have to try until death. How long should I try until when? This is so much pressure, so I'm asking this.
That's a good question. Okay, let me think about it. Okay, sorry, what did you say? Okay, where was I again? Mirror, very good. Okay. So when your good knowing advisor is not enlightened, therefore the mirror that he is, it does not give a perfect reflection because of his afflictions. Yes. Why is he afflicted? Because of the presence of his ego. I haven't used that term for a long, long time now, because many of you have grown beyond ego already, except for the petty ones. Okay? When you have an ego, what does the ego do? It constantly judges. I like this, I don't like that, I don't care. Okay? It's three cases. I like it, I like you, I don't like you, I don't care. Okay? And the fourth one is, I want to kill myself. Something like that, okay? Okay, so that's what happens. So when you get in front of someone, when you get advices from someone who is not enlightened, the person cannot really help you because he cannot really see you accurately. He cannot give you. He does not really understand what your problem is. Is that clear? So the perfect mirror wisdom analogy in Buddhism is so accurate, is so insightful. Okay? It's because we by ourselves, still need a mirror to find out what's wrong with it, to put it bluntly. Okay? What's right about us? If the hair is good enough, maybe just a little bit here, then it's even better. You see? So you need a mirror. Okay? It's funny, as a side note, when I was a novice at my master's temples, we don't have mirrors. Okay? Because the monks and nuns are supposed to be to use mirror, look at themselves in the mirrors, because it reduces their vanity. They're being obsessed about their appearances. To me, there are some pluses and minuses. I feel that it's not something I would enforce, because we need mirrors. Whether it's a physical mirror to check our hair, how long it is, time for us to shave, right? And have a little bit of touch-up here, the orange touch-up, a pink touch-up, I mean. See, my face is pink right now today? Yeah, I overdid it a little. Yeah, you're laughing. You're really lacking in compassion. Anyway, we make mistakes. We all make mistakes. My face, can you see the pink here? It's pinker than normal. Even I'm pinker than a pale-faced person. Okay, so what happened is that going back to the spiritual side, the perfect mirror wisdom is a reminder of the duties and the responsibilities and aspirations of the people who want to be good, knowing advisors. They need to get rid of the ego, because the ego, as long as they have the ego, they will distort the reflection. The mirror is not perfect. It gives you a distorted image of the person. Is that clear? So it's so fundamental. So the person, wisdom should be able to add no opinion of his or hers at all. He didn't say, I don't like you. Okay? Yeah, you're a Democrat, I don't like you. That kind of thing. Okay, there's no need for that. Okay? Number one. Furthermore, it's not just it's a perfect reflection that you need, but also next level. The next level is that once you're able to give the perfect reflection, like, you petty, you a bitch. Oh, I shouldn't say those words. Okay, I know it sounds emotional, afflicted, but it's the truth. Okay, sometimes you have to insult them, because you say, why can't you be nice to me? Why aren't you so mean to me? Because you're a bitch. Okay, what's the equivalent for males? What's bitch in Espanol? I need to learn. There's more and more Spanish-speaking people.
Maybe it will be zorra or puta.
A puta. How do you say the whole sentence? Give me a sentence. Don't just give puta. And they're gonna hear oh, I'm a Buddha already. So,
A sentence?
tú eres una puta?
Yeah, that could work.
Huh?
Yeah, that work.
That works.
That works,
What is
yeah.
more elegant way of saying it? This guy's not into insulting people, clearly. He's struggling so much. Vietnam, we have many, many expressions. Okay? I will not say to you because it's kind of X-rated. Anyway, where were we? So you see, it's the ego gets in the way of the reflection. That's why you're not helping. And number two, next step. Once you're able, even if you're able to give a perfect reflection by suppressing your own ego, okay? He says, inside you say, I don't like this man, but you say, oh, I'm not supposed to, to pass judgment on people. So you turn on your perfect mirror wisdom, okay, and you now can be in a better position to help them, okay. The next step is to help them, okay. So that's why it's the next level, where even though you have a perfect mirror, but you still need to learn how to solve people's problems. So that's what's fascinating about Chan training and the Mahayana cultivation, is that the skills you develop as you improve, they get much more interesting, much more fun, if you will, much more rewarding. Yes, in the back.
Master, this is related to what you just explained. When you don't like someone, how do you know it's your ego or your manic ghost?
When you don't like someone and
passing judgments.
And you are passing judgment, and you also know that you are a pretty sick person, a bipolar person yourself.
Yes.
So how do you know which one? Right? Okay. Doesn't matter. First thing we do is to do a perfect mirror wisdom. You're a bitch. Okay. Act like a perfect mirror wisdom first. Okay. But is it your own judgment, or is it a fact? Okay. It's no guarantee. We don't know, because the problem is that even though after you become enlightened, you still have some issues inside. Okay. Sometimes your mind acts up and you're not aware of it. Okay. And so the best way is to enter samadhi. Okay. And if you really want to help people, fundamentally, you should clear your mind. Okay. When your head is clear, when your mind is clear, they cannot affect you. Does it help? Good question. Any other questions? Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. I think you just mentioned I don't care is one kind of affliction, so one kind of a judgment. So I never think in that way. I thought sometimes I didn't get afflicted because I don't care someone or something. So can you give me more explanation about that? Why I don't care is one kind of judgment or one kind of afflictions? Thank you.
If you don't care, how can you really help? You have to care to help. Just because you don't care for someone doesn't mean you don't care to help. There's a difference. Okay? Anything else? If not, I'm going to go into Jumi's questions. I'm warning you. Okay, Jumi, what was your question again, briefly?
제 질문은 마스터께서 제 스스로 리밋을 두는 것에 대해서
You
굉장히
petty.
스스로의
I got that.
그러니까 제가 첫 번째
And you set limits. I got that. What
네,
else
맞아요.
am I missing?
네.
So how far should you go with your loyalty? Is what the question is? 네.
그러니까 두 번째 제 스스로 제가 리밋을 정하는 것에 대해서 마스터의 답변이 굉장히 심리적으로 압박감을 느꼈고 이걸 제가 어떻게 소화해야 되는지에 대해서 질문 드렸습니다.
Master answered to my question about setting myself a limit, and you answered me, and your answer made me very pressured. So I don't know how to handle this.
What was the answer? I didn't give any answer today.
그러니까 2주 전에 마스터의 대답이 첫 번째는 너는 찌질하다. 두 번째 대답은 너 스스로 그렇게 리밋을 두는 것이 너의 진전을 네가 스스로 제한하는 거다. 너는 멀리 갈 수 없다. 그래서 네가 진전이 느린 거다라고 대답을 해주셨었어요.
So you answered me 2 weeks ago that your answer was you're very petty and you limit yourself. So you're actually obstructing your progress and you cannot go far. That's why your progress is very slow.
So?
두 번째 마스터께서 저한테 주셨던 그 대답이 저는 심리적인 압박감을 느꼈고 이걸 제가 어떻게 소화하고 수행을 해야 되는지 질문 드린 거거든요, 이번 주에.
So with that, your answer, I was very psychologically pressured, and I don't know how to embrace this, and I don't know how to resolve this.
Okay. First, you have to find out. What your problem is. Your problem, you petty, and then it seems to help you. Get a little bit further and say you petty. One manifestation your pettiness is that you set limits. Okay, and that's what smart people do. I mean, that's what your father taught you, what your parents taught you. You need to set limits, and you must be in moderation. But it's not that. When you cultivate, what is the nature of being petty? Everyone. I'm using her question to address quite a few of you. Quite a few of you are petty, but I don't know you. I don't know you that well, so I cannot afford to be blunt with you. But a good number of you are pretty petty. So what's the nature of pettiness? Why are you petty? Why are people petty? Yes, 6.
Don't want to lose.
They're afraid to lose. Absolutely. I said they cannot take a loss. When they're incurring losses, they cannot take it. They really, really suffer. Okay? And that's a natural consequence, natural reaction is that they need to set limits to their losses. This is the nature of her question. I can be loyal, okay? I am willing to take some losses, but I need to set a limit. What's wrong with that? You're afraid to incur losses. Let me ask you. You're afraid to lose more. Okay? That's why you stop. I said, no, I'm stopping here. And that's perfectly reasonable, perfectly rational for worldly people. Okay? But in cultivation, it's a different story. In cultivation, when you cultivate, and if you set a limit in your losses, to your losses in cultivation, what are you doing? You also are setting limits to how far you can go. And that's why you're limiting your progress. That's all you're doing. So that's a typical case of someone who's too smart and says, I need to set a limit, okay? I need to be moderate, okay? But in doing that, you also are setting a limit as to how far you can go. And that's your problem. You're afraid to lose. Yeah, continue. Go ahead, 3.
네. 일단 산호세에서 나온 대답에 대해서 당연히 너무나 동의하고요. 네.
I absolutely agree with the answer from San Jose.
손해 보는 게 너무 싫고 시간 낭비하는 게 너무 싫으니까 저희 아버지의 가정 교육을 통해서 저는 내가 스스로 리밋을 정하는 게 제가 손해를 소화하고 감당하는 일이라고 저는 생각을 했어요. 네.
I absolutely do not want to lose. I absolutely do not want to waste my time. Through my father's education, I thought deciding my own limits is managing my losses.
그러니까 저는 손해를 감당하고 싶었는데 마스터의 오늘 답변을 들으니까 이거는 마치 양날의 검처럼 어느 한쪽에 대한 이득이 있으면 반대급부를 감수해야 되는 걸로 제가 들렸어요. 네.
Okay, don't translate that. Let me ask her. You're talking about managing your losses. You're talking about loyalty. 네? Okay, let me ask you specifically towards your husband. How loyal are you to him? How much are you willing to lose? Very quickly, give me some specific numbers. Okay? How loyal are you to him? Not loyal, right?
제가 남편의 그러니까 마스터께서 2022년도 4월인가 남편의 수행을
I don't want to
도우라고
hear
하셨고
excuses. I said, well, how loyal are you? Loyal or not loyal?
마스터 제가 지금 답변하고 있는데 마스터께서 2022년 4월에
Remember
남편의
you
수행을
say in the
도우라고
United
하셨고
States. How loyal are you?
스님 일단 먼저 통역해 주시는 게 나을 것 같아요.
On a scale of loyalty, 1 to 10, 1 being very little, 10 to be very loyal, what number is it? We're talking specifics.
마스터 대답을
What
했거든요.
number?
만약에 척도가 5라면 전 남편한테 5를 다 했고 할 만큼 했다고 생각합니다.
If the number is 5, I would give all 5 for my husband.
5. Okay, your number is 5. So you would never go to 10.
아니요, 마스터 그게 아니라 5점 척도로 했을 때의 5거든요.
Careful, girl. Careful.
만약에 10점 척도라면 10을 다 했고 남편한테 할 만큼 했다고 생각합니다.
No, master, it's because my scale is until 5. If the scale is until 10, I will.
So far,
give
you've
all
seen
10 for
5.
my
Okay?
husband.
Can I hear 6? What does it take to go to 6?
아니 마스터 저는 남편한테
Because
10을
I
다
know he wants to
했습니다.
know. I mean, you are you. Okay? We're not passing judgment on you at all. Okay? I'm sure he wants to know what does it take for you to go to 6. I'm trying to make a point here. It's very important, folks. I know we do a lot of things in a jesting around, okay? But there is a point here. What does it take for you to go to 6?
마스터 전 이미 10입니다.
Numbers.
마스터
Master, I'm already 10.
You 10 already?
Yes.
Liar.
Yes. 아니에요. 맞아요.
When you mean
No,
you're
I
willing to lose everything for him? Everything, including your life? That's loyalty. 10 is meaning you prepare to give up your life for him. I don't see that in you. Because you petty, remember?
마스터의 로열티의 기준과 제 기준이 다를 뿐이고 저는 남편한테 10을 다했고 더 이상 할 바가 없어요.
Master, it's just your and mine standard of loyalty is different. I gave him all 10, and this is all I can give to him.
Fine, but that's words. I'm asking you, 10 means you have to give up your life. My 10 is giving up your life. Are you prepared to give up your life for him? Trust me, man. Most men would like to know it from their wives.
마스터, 저는 사바
Yes or no?
세계에서
No, I don't want excuses. Yes or no?
마스터, 사바 세계에서 만난 인연에 목숨을 걸지 않습니다.
I wouldn't risk my life for the
For anyone.
person I met in Saha
See, I don't
world.
see you giving up your life for anyone. True? That's your limit. Your limit is you get close to your life, you stop. Yeah?
마스터,
No excuses. Yes or no?
마스터 사바 세계에서 만난 인연에 목숨을 걸지 않을 뿐이에요.
That sounds like a no.
Master, I'm not gonna risk my life for the people
anyone.
I met in Saha
For
world.
no one. That means your loyalty is not a 10. You see? That's our reality. You cannot use words.
네, 마스터, 저는 아쇼다라가 아니에요.
Master, I'm not Yashodhara.
Yeah, that's my point. My point here is that you set a limit to everything. Therefore, you cannot be a 10 in loyalty. And that's who you are. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? It would take more, a lot more, for you to remove your limits. Okay? You will be able to remove your limits when you see it's more beneficial to remove your limitations, your limits. Then when someday when you understand that setting limits is okay out there because your dad is not wrong, but setting limits for the spiritual path is not okay. That's all. You need to separate the two. Secular life, you should set limits. I agree. Spiritual life, okay? At some point in time, you need to, when you cultivate, when you meditate, you should not set limits. That's all. That's the only thing you need to keep in mind. You lived your life, that's fine. Nothing wrong with setting limits. Everyone needs to set limits. That's common sense. But when you cultivate, okay, you cannot afford to set limits on certain things. That's all. Don't be stupid. Cultivation is not what is it? Arbitrary. You don't set limits on certain things only, and that's good enough for you to make it, to break through. Okay? So it's not something that we can argue, we can debate intellectually. It's about the test. When the test comes, you say, oh, I have a limit here, I will back off. But in cultivation, there are times when you'll be reminded that you should not set limits. That's all. And that's the function of a good no advisor. The advantage of having a good no advisor is that in those moments, someone will tell you, don't stop. Don't set limits. Go all out. That's all. Don't confuse the two. Your normal life, you're fine. You're successful so far. You have a family, you have a husband. Okay, you guys are doing okay. But when you cultivate, you have to learn to, at times, to remove your limits. That's all. That's all you have to do. Don't confuse the two. Okay, it's two different things. Secular life, spiritual life. It's two different pursuits. All right? You're a lay person. You need to live your secular life, your normal life. But your spiritual side is what will, when you cultivate and enhance your spiritual life, this will improve your secular life. This is designed to help you improve the quality of your worldly life. All right? That's all. Don't think so much. When you cultivate, go all out when necessary. Okay? Only have a few more minutes. Anyone else has anything else that they'd like to ask? YouTube question.
Amitofo Master, we have a question from Ray Zhuang. He says, how can we act as a perfect mirror?
You need to have the wisdom of an enlightened person. You need to become enlightened. That's what it takes. It's not something you can fake. Not something you can talk about. It's about whether you have the wisdom of an enlightened person or not. So practically, you have to reach 1G or higher. Before that, you cannot be a perfect mirror. You cannot have a perfect mirror. It cannot be a great perfect mirror of wisdom. Okay, good question. Finally, let me also tell you something that I know that many of you wonder about when we talk about loyalty and devotion. It's not just loyalty, also devotion. Is that it's not a blind thing. Loyalty, devotion is, as I said, a two-way street. You're loyal, let's say, to your wife, and vice versa, your wife is loyal to you. You're loyal to, you're devoted to your wife, it's because your wife is also devoted to you. So it is something that is cultivated, that's something that's nurtured, okay? And so that's why it takes time to have that. But on the outset, what's not spoken is that you have to choose who you're loyal to. Very important. This is something that you have to be careful. If that person has wrong morals, your being loyal to that person will bring you a lot of grief, will bring you a lot of trouble. That's misplaced loyalty. So you're loyal and devoted to someone who has virtue, who is a good person. Don't choose to be loyal and devoted to an evil person, to an immoral person, because you will get in trouble. Whereas if you're loyal to the right person, okay, then it will be to your advantage. Be careful. It's not blind loyalty. It's not blind devotion. The Buddha's disciples are loyal and devoted to him is because they been through a lot of tests, a lot of challenges together in prior many lifetimes. That's why that bond there is real. That has been strengthened with many, many tests through many, many lifetimes. Okay? It's not blind loyalty, folks. On the surface, it appears to be blind. Okay? But actually has been tested because I'm reminding you that if your person that you're loyal to is an immoral person, okay? It's in particular, never mind about morality, because sometimes you don't understand, but it's an evil person, okay? He's bent upon destroying others and inflicting pain upon others, okay? Then I'm reminding you, your loyalty and devotion are misplaced. Be careful. Okay? But once that person has the requirements, that is a virtuous person, is a good person, okay? Then your devotion and loyalty will be a good thing for you. Okay? I'll give you an example. Personally, I'm loyal to my master, Master thichvinhhoausa, even though I suffered so much abuses, so many pain and suffering that he made me endure through his disciples. I'm still loyal to him. You know why? Because I've been loyal to him more than these lifetimes. Many, many, many lifetimes ago. So nothing happens to me from his side can ever change that. You understand? So that's why, because of that, about the devotion and loyalty, good things eventually matured. It's more than just a pettiness that, hey, I'm loyal to you because they're advantageous to me. No, there's no light at the end of the tunnel of loyalty and devotion. Okay? You still don't change your heart. That's what we're talking about. Okay, folks? Thank you. We stop here today.